The holiday dinner table was familiar, warm lights, the soft clink of silverware, the hum of small talk. Smiled as my sister lifted her glass. Don't take advice from someone who hasn't succeeded. She joked, and the room chuckled. I smiled harder, a practiced curl of lips that felt heavier than it looked. Inside, the joke lingered like a bitter aftertaste. Remembered the last 3 semesters, late nights balancing bills, rearranging my own plans, quietly transferring tuition funds for her without a word. The work had been invisible, routine, practical, necessary. No one had applauded me, not even her. And now, this casual dismissal reframed it as if it had been nothing. The comment stayed with me long after the laughter faded. I went over the transfers in my mind, the spreadsheets, the nudged deadlines, the constant little adjustments that had kept her education afloat. The thought that she saw me as inexperienced, insignificant, or irrelevant stung, but more sharply than that, it unsettled me. Generosity had been easy, even automatic, had always been unreciprocated, and now it felt taken for granted. The decision came slowly. Not a confrontation, not a dramatic stand, just a single, quiet choice. The next tuition transfer wouldn't go through. I did not announce it. I did not warn. Simply stopped. Silence became my statement. The first ripple arrived in the form of a text, polite but pointed. Did the transfer not go through? Then a more insistent call. I answered calmly, without sarcasms, assumed you didn't need advice from someone who hasn't succeeded. My voice carried no malice, only clarity. A week later, another family gathering, the situation surfaced indirectly. My parents noticed the banking notifications, and their curiosity forced a discussion. The tuition had stopped. I showed the proof, a simple screenshot, concrete and factual. No one could dispute it. Authority had arrived quietly, without shouting, without spectacle, just undeniable evidence. There was no public shaming, no tantrum. My sister looked taken aback. She had counted on the support, but now she had to face it. The balance of power had shifted not in theatrics, but in reality. I had leverage, but I didn't brandish it. Control was clarified, not flaunted. The aftermath was quiet. Conversations became shorter, more cautious. There was no apology, and I didn't seek one. Dignity returned in subtle measures. My time, my resources, my attention, all respected my boundaries. The relationship wasn't healed, wasn't worse. It had simply changed, thinner and more honest. Mutual reliance had been reframed, and I could carry my generosity without diminishing myself. The tuition issue forced practical adjustments. My sister had to navigate her responsibilities differently, to plan and prioritize in ways she hadn't needed to before. Was the external consequence. But the internal shift mattered more. I understood that support could be given, respect couldn't be assumed. That lesson, quiet and unwavering, was mine. Silence returned to the room, not hostile, not tender, just settled, steady. Everything had moved, yet nothing had erupted. Victory, if it could be called that, was calm, professional, understated. The joke she made at the dinner would echo in memory, but it no longer held power over me. I had created space, for myself, for boundaries, and for the dignity that comes from acting with quiet resolve.